Okay, so here's a thought. What if you could tell a whole story, not with carefully crafted sentences, but just with a handful of powerful words? Today, we're going to try something a little different. We're taking a collection of words and phrases that seem totally disconnected and seeing if we can weave them into one single, coherent story.
So that's the big question for today, right? Can a few phrases and their definitions actually tell a compelling story? One with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
I think they can. Let's find out together.
All right, part one. We're calling this a story from scraps because we are literally building a world from the smallest fragments of language.
Every good story has to start somewhere, and ours begins with a character who is going through a period of great tribulation. Just that one word alone. Wow, it immediately paints a picture, doesn't it? We know right away our hero is in a really, really dark place.
And let's just think about how specific that word is. The definition is great trouble or suffering. This isn't just a bad day at the office. This is a profound crisis. It just goes to show you how much weight a single word can carry.
To make that feeling even more real, our character feels completely and totally stuck, like he's caught at the neck of the bottle. What a great idiom. It's so vivid you can almost feel the walls closing in on you.
And that's exactly what it means. Being stuck in a tight, difficult situation with no easy way out. He's trapped. The pressure is building. But you have to ask, what's causing all this pressure?
Well, that brings us to part two, the pain in the neck. Yep, it's time to meet the source of all this tribulation.
The problem, as it turns out, is a business partner. And this isn't just any difficult partner. This is one who seems to engender only chaos. Now, pay attention to that word choice. This partner doesn't just cause chaos, they engender it. It suggests that chaos is born from their very nature.
To engender something means to cause it, to give rise to it. So this partner isn't just a problem on the side, they are the very source, the wellspring of all the trouble our main character is facing.
So let's build a quick profile of this problematic partner. First off, a true misanthrope, someone who dislikes other people. You know, not a great quality in a partner. They're also completely indolent, which is a great word for lazy, just avoiding work at all costs. Add to that being financially insolvent, so they can't pay their debts, and what you get is someone who is, quite literally, a constant pain in the neck.
Now, a situation this toxic, it can't last forever. Something's gotta give. And that brings us to part three, when things chew up. This is the breaking point. And that is exactly what happens. Soon, pretty much everything in his life is being chewed up by the constant stress. The business, his peace of mind, even his health. It's all just being torn to shreds.
And that phrase, chew up, it means to destroy or damage something badly. It's such a visceral term. It implies this vicious grinding process of total destruction.
And we see the devastating results of this. Our hero begins to fret all the time, just worrying endlessly about everything, and the physical toll is enormous. He becomes thin and emaciated.
The word emaciated means very thin and weak due to illness or lack of food. But in our story, the illness isn't really physical, is it? It's emotional. The constant stress is literally eating him alive from the inside out. This is rock bottom.
But you know what they say about hitting rock bottom. There's only one way to go from there, and that's up. Our character has a choice to make, and this is part 4, the choice to clean up.
He has this profound realization. It was time to stop fighting and just capitulate. Now, that sounds like he's giving up, right? But here's the brilliant twist. He wasn't capitulating to his partner. He was capitulating to reality. He was finally accepting that the situation was completely unsustainable and that it had to change.
See, to capitulate means to give in or stop resisting. By stopping his resistance to the truth of a situation, he was finally able to see a way out. He wasn't surrendering, he was strategically repositioning himself for a major comeback.
This newfound acceptance leads directly to action. He is no longer a victim. This is the final phase of his journey. This is part 5, becoming impregnable.
So how does he do it?
What's the plan? Well, step 1, give the neck to toxic influences. Basically, he rejects that partner completely. Step 2, he starts to eschew his old passive habits, deliberately avoiding all that pointless worry. Step 3, he begins to clean up the entire mess, piece by piece. And finally, step 4, he begins to coalesce with new, trustworthy allies. And that last word, coalesce, is so important. It means to come together and form one group. So he's not just cutting toxic people out, he's actively building a new, stronger support system. He's replacing a destructive force with a creative one.
And by following this plan, by cutting ties, changing his habits, and building something new, our hero becomes impregnable. He is, by definition, untouchable, unable to be broken. He has rebuilt himself into something so much stronger than he ever was before.
And just like that, our story, built from just a few scraps of language, is complete. It started with tribulation, and it ended in strength. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you had to tell your own story with just a handful of words, which ones would you choose? What story are your words building?